Star Wars Eclipse drama that's going on, which I am not fully caught up on this yet, but Ryan's going to prep everyone, and then we're going to have a discussion about it because it's Star Wars, and when you pander to social justice, this is what happens.
Yeah, it's never enough. It's never enough to insert every different type of person into your media. It doesn't matter how many gay or trans or non-binary people you put into a book or a comic book or whatever. All of a sudden, the wrong company is making a Star Wars game that's set in the High Republic era, which is pretty much only consumed by woke losers, to be quite honest with you. But they're not happy about Quantic Dream making Star Wars Eclipse. And they never were. These people have actually been talking about this for months. It's just kind of under the radar because we didn't have a big game announcement. But now that we did have Star Wars Eclipse coming out, we're seeing headlines like this from Bounding Into Comics. Hashtag Blackout Star Wars Eclipse boycott launched in protest of developer Quantic Dream and CEO David Cage's involvement with Star Wars Eclipse. And a lot of people, you may not really understand what's going on because it's, at the end of the day, it's really not that big of a deal. Quantic Dream is a company that's made, most recently, I think they're probably most well known for Detroit Become Human. And there's some allegations out there. The same type of allegations that we hear about virtually every big gaming company right now. Oh, it's a toxic work environment. It's a boys club, things like that. Specifically, David Cage has been accused of saying two things. We got to find these quotes here. We got to find these quotes because they're interesting. He's been... let's see. They allege that Quantic Dream was rife with general harassment and unsavory behavior, including the photoshopping of various employees into inappropriate situations. Heaven forbid memes get made.
So it's literally that's memes. That's
memes.
That's a very try to make it seem offensive way to say memes. Mm-hmm. That's what it is.
The making of racist and sexist jokes and Cage's own assertions that in my games, all women are whores, and at Quantic Dream, we do not make games for F-slurs. And now there's been media reports on this. They actually filed lawsuits of defamation against those people. They've won some of them. They've lost some of them. I know Upper Echelon has been looking into this very recently. What's your take on this whole situation, man?
Well, the funniest thing to me is that the one that they lost, I think the most high-profile one that they lost, which concerned those quotes, just this year got overturned in a French appellate court. So now it got reversed. So talking about like innocent until proven guilty or guilty in a court of law or guilty in the court of public opinion, I try to, I guess, go by that. And if there was enough verifiable objective evidence for the court to overturn it, then I don't know. I think they make good games, so I'm not really going to be mad that Quantic Dream is making a Star Wars game. So people want to complain about stuff is what it seems like to me. Well, hard to take it seriously, yeah. The
crazy part to me is Detroit Become Human is not some like red-pilled game. Like it's a game. You have an option in there. You can, as a male, I forget what they call them, cyborg or robot or whatever they are, you can choose to take a female stripper or a male stripper into the back room with you. Like you have that option. It is literally, you can play however you want. It's kind of a progressive game in all reality. And the fact that they don't even know that because these people don't play games. They really don't.
There was none of the like objection that I'm hearing right now for this trailer voiced over Detroit Become Human, right? So if Star Wars Eclipse were to come out and be in that same vein, right? Like I thought it was a visually stunning game. I thought it had some really good development choices. Quantic, I don't know. I feel like they make good games, right? So it's very hard because like you said, a lot of the people that have the largest objections, I saw this really funny comic about it recently. It was like, I've made the thing that you like, and some person was on a megaphone saying, I hate the thing, change the thing, and then everybody leaves, and they're like, oh, I don't actually want to buy the thing, bye-bye. So these people don't want to get it. Like, they don't want to, they're not in it for the right reasons. They're in it to change something that they find objectionable for isolated reasons that are not relevant to the actual hobby.
100%.
Yeah. 100%. And here's some of the reaction from every single person without fail that's upset about this has pronouns in their bio. That is, those are the people. Again, Disney, Lucasfilm, you have been trying to appease these people for so long, but it doesn't matter because one person that you work with that they don't like, just because of allegations that haven't been proven in any way, shape, or form, just because of that, no. Hashtag Blackout Star Wars Eclipse, because basic human rights are more important than having that studio make this damn game. Looking at you, Lucasfilm Limited. we want a new Star Wars game, but not one made by a studio with a history of misogyny and racism in their games, a toxic workplace, and a CEO with no respect for women and LGBTQ plus folks. It sounds like they're trying to get me to buy this game now. But it's on and on and on. This guy, that gay Jedi, I mean, how do you build your personality around that, man? I don't know. But that's what this backlash is all about. Again, it's been brewing for a while. I saw when they announced that when the rumor was out there that Quantic Dream was doing it, they started it. That's when all of this started. It was just ready to go as soon as Eclipse got announced.
But
go ahead, Disbrew. Go ahead.
What always amazes me about this is it was the same with Activision. It's like, this place is horrible for certain people. You've got all these people that are getting attacked, and it's horrible to work there, and they're just being targeted. And you're like, well, okay, what's your solution? And their solution is, we need to hire more of these people. I'm like, well, if it's so bad for them to work there, why do you want to subject more people to that environment? It doesn't make any sense. It was like, and Twitch had a thing, and they were like, oh, people are coming into our chats to abuse us. It's like, well, what's your solution? Well, they need to give us a bigger cut of subscriptions. I'm sorry, how is that solving your problem? And it makes me think with it, because I had a massive issue with this, but it was about the actual game. It was literally, you showed us a trailer, which showed us no gameplay. There's nothing about it. Like, all I learned from the trailer is this is Star Wars. And then they said, actually, it's not going to be out for 4 years. And so I didn't know anything that you just mentioned, but now I'm wondering if it's actually released, like, announced early deliberately to get all of this out of the way. And so in 4 years, no one will care, because it'll just be old news. And it's like, really, how are you going to stage a boycott for 4 years and keep up any kind of sense of momentum around it?
That's true. I mean, momentum dissipates so quickly that it's going to be gone within 3 months, possibly, right? Let alone a year, 2, 3. So you're right. That could be a pretty, like, big brain tactic if they were dissipating every single shred of the backlash with no chance it would ever affect sales or marketing or anything.
Yeah, I mean, this is something we've seen so many times, and it's taken over every industry. You know, again, fans are always going to be opinionated on things. That's the nature of fandom. Fans are always going to have opinions, but when you have people that are digging into, like, personal history of people that are like, oh, I don't want this person making this game because they said something I didn't like, or they have a view I didn't like, or they voted for that is not a fan talking like that. Fans truly don't give a shit about people's personal lives and their personal anything outside of them, unless they're like a murderer or something like that, which is not something that it's just insane that we continue to deal with this, and these companies continue to pander to these types of people. But
do you think this will work? Do you think, like, this will actually have an effect? It reminds me of Troy Levitt and what he's ousted. Basically, he quit after they targeted him over Harry Potter. So do you think it'll work? Like, what do you think the future looks like for him?
I with Lucasfilm, you never know. Go ahead, Ryan, though.
I don't think so.
You're plugged into this story a little more, but, like, we'll have some Gina Carano. I never thought they'd fire Gina Carano.
There is a gross misconception from a lot of people about how Star Wars games work right now. Now that, like, this direct partnership with EA is out the window, it's like anybody can come to Lucasfilm and make a Star Wars game. Like, they have so many different things in the works now that they've got their Lucasfilm games, aspect that they're doing now. Like, it's not like Disney went out and hired these people specifically, or Lucasfilm went out and hired this guy specifically. They got a pitch from a company, they signed off on it, and they're developing a game. And this guy's so far survived quite a bit at Quantum Dream. I don't think he's going anywhere, mostly because I don't think these people have the power to do anything at all. They're just not that impactful. They don't buy anything, which is why the High Republic, is so shit. Yeah, that's why the numbers for that, after that big first week that they tried to pretend that they were happy about, it absolutely fell off a cliff, because the people that you're targeting this towards, they don't buy shit. Rippa knows that in comics.
I talk about this all the time with comic books, man. They don't buy shit. Like, and it's not like we're not talking opinions here, man. They literally do not buy the product. What they will do is signal. In the event that they can signal, they'll do that all day long. They'll virtue signal, hey, look at me, I'm good, you're bad, on the internet. But ultimately, what it comes down to, if it's like definitely outside of a movie, because movie, like, it's a normie medium, you know what I mean? Like, it's easy to digest, easy to consume. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world to understand it. Definitely in this sort of space. So, they'll generally watch it, but they're flaky. But when it comes to like books, games, and all of that shit, often these guys don't buy shit. Like again, we see this with Miles Morales on the different subject matter, but the same subject matter. We see it with Miles Morales, and those guys don't buy those books. Again, not my opinion. You can go look when we had the accurate data before, the kind of diamond situation happened and all of that. Miles, I looked it up myself. He had the 68th selling book. Fucking character that fucking popular. You think he'd be way fucking up on that list? He's getting beat by fucking characters I ain't even fucking heard of for obscure fucking comic books. Not even in the bit two. He's getting his ass kicked. Man, if all of those guys who quote tweet me or Jeremy or Yellow Flash were so big of fans, man, those books would be doing way better than what the fuck they're doing in those little shitty 25,000 copies that they sold, which probably they didn't sell anyway. They fucking ended up in a like a school or a library or some shit, and that's how they got purchased. But unfortunately, that's where media is at right now. They are hard committed on appealing to that demographic of unreliable customers. Is more so what it is. And Star Wars has this problem, Marvel has this problem, DC has this problem where you may hit it with a movie or so, but for the most part, it's not going to work. So why on earth would you try to tailor make or cave into the demands of such an obscure audience of people who are just loud on fucking social media? And that's about it. Outside of that, they're not going to be lining up to play your game or buy your book or anything like that.
Yeah. And I think the fact that this Quantic Dream is based in France as well, I think that's a little bit different as well than a American-based company. I don't think a ton of people are going to be super upset about a slur or the specific slur that's being accused. In France, I just don't. And I think it's going to continue to blow over, especially with a release date 3 to 4 years down the line.
That is a good point about the release date being that far out. So maybe that's like Disparu talked about, maybe that's a strategic on their part. I just want to mention too, we are dual streaming on Odyssey tonight as we did last week. So you guys are welcome to watch on either platform. Shout out to Odyssey, fantastic platform. I know Upper Echelon, you got a really big following over there, don't you? Got a pretty good channel.
I hope so. Yeah, it's kind of like my parachute. I don't know.
Yeah. You got a lot of followers over there. I looked, so I think you got like 30,000 followers over there. I feel like, or maybe it was.
Damn.
I don't know.
Every single video, I'm like, yo, check me out on Odyssey. It's an ad-free platform, like all that, right? Because there's reasons to use it. It's really appealing. They do need some buffering stuff, but they're working on it. They're improving really quickly. So yeah, Odyssey's great. Definitely watch the stream over there. Everybody who's looking right now.
Yeah, 100%. So we are over there. Shout out to Odyssey. We'll be watching that chat too. So if you see super chats over there or over here, we'll make sure we get to them. But yeah, I'm going to look further into the story because obviously it's fun to roast these left-wing people that are always trying to pretend like they care about Star Wars.